Attention! Attention, everyone! Hello, hello! It is I, Jason. Oh, goodness, that is not what I wanted. Hello, it's me, Jason Mullen, and I am running for governor. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this project's gonna be a fun one, so sit down. Regardless, hello, my name's Jason. I'm in your class. I'm running for governor. Alright? Now, I'm a libertarian. I'm a left-leaning libertarian specifically, but I am a libertarian. Now, you may ask, Jason, what's your name? My name is Jason Mullen, as I've stated multiple times. Now, Jason, what's your experience? What means you should be a leader of democracy? Well, my experience is one, I want to be. All right, simple enough. Obviously, if I want to be, then I should, seek out. But what experience do I have running a democracy is more applicable. Regardless, I was in my robotics class in roughly high school, right? In high school, I think it was sophomore year. I ran the robotics spirit aspect of it. And fun fact, I'm the only reason we actually went to state. I'm not the only reason, but I'm one of the crucial reasons we went to state. Because I was able to rally the people together. I'm sorry, that was very aggressive. But either way, I was able to rally the people together. I was able to get random other strangers on other teams to start chanting, go, go, go. So I know how to unite people. I truly do. Then it's, all right, what leadership qualities do you have? My leadership qualities stem from the fact of at work. Every single time I go into work, my manager likes to sit in the back of house. He works in the kitchen. Meanwhile, I run the concession up front for the most part. Half of the time, he doesn't even come up there during the busy times. He just allows me to make most of the executive decisions needed. I make a majority of those decisions on a flick of a wrist. And then I run it. I keep a tight ship, mind you, a tight one. Because I continue to work hard. Even when the people behind me are working hard, I'm working harder. All right? I'm going at it. And finally, it's like, hey, but that's just because other people are telling you what to do. What ideas can you actually bring to the table? Well, here's the thing. With my friend group, a lot of my friends like to just be chill. So Jason's the energetic one that's like, hey, let's do this new thing, guys. And then they're like, hey, let's try and follow him. Because Jason's a charismatic soul and he's a leader at heart. You may say, well, Jason, what history do you have? What actual, you can name these experiences, but what's your history? What's been behind you this whole time? Well, my history is one of growth. Because, I've dealt with a series of issues my entire life. One of them's been my autism. I've been getting therapy for that since middle school, roughly. Another one's my ODD, oppositional defiance disorder. I will bring it to those authority figures. To the ones that want to oppress you, I will speak up to them. I'll scream in their face. I'll tell them, no, no, no. You're going to listen to what we want to do. Because we the people. That's what I'm going to tell them. I'm going to tell them that exactly. Because you, my good sir, are a fellow Texan. And you deserve your rights. You deserve your liberties. You specifically deserve for the government to back out of most situations. They're not there to simply live your life for you. That's your job. And I'm going to let you have it. Now, you may ask, Jason, what characteristics do you have? One, I'm loud. I'm very loud. The people will hear me. They will hear me, and they will know I speak with firmness and confidence, because I am a confident man. Another characteristic of mine is that apparently I slur my speech. We're going to ignore that. Another good characteristic of mine is the fact that I will sit there and I will continue to fight and persevere. I hold willpower like no other. One time my father jokingly said, if you're going to need a ride home, you might as well walk. And I walked a whole 4 miles before he found me on those back roads and said, what are you doing, son? And I said, well, father, you told me to walk, so I walked like a good man. Like a man who can pull himself by the bootstraps. Because I am a good man. I'm a willful one at that. All right. Well, now, Jason, you may be thinking, who are you trying to even appeal to with this wonderful campaign? All right. My apologies. We're having a little bit of technical errors. But who are you trying to appeal to, Jason? I'm appealing to the young kids. All right? I'm appealing to the children and to those of middle age. After all,
If you want to reach those kids on the street, then you gotta do it right.
to a hip hop beat, an urban kick, and my beats are sick. Thing keeps bigger and keeps getting bigger. That's 'cause Jesus Christ. We're not gonna finish that one, but you understand the idea, concept behind it, roughly. Jason's sitting there, and he's gonna advertise to the youth so they can become more informed, more educated, because that's what they deserve. They need to have their voices spoken, so that way they know they're worth something, that they can be part of something. Fun fact, that's actually how the KKK got a lot of its members back in the day, but we're not getting into that. Just obscure history fact, if you wanted to know. And I'm going to the middle age. How can you reach these people? Urban kick or aggressive advertising with very easy to use links. Because if you can get somebody to just be like, hey, I don't need you to do a lot. I just need you to do this one thing to have your voice heard. Then you can get people a little bit invested. And again, that first chip in is the only chip you really need. Because once you have that first chip in, they're invested. They're there. It's like whenever you clean in your room, all right? You picked up one sock. Well, now I got to pick up the other socks. Now I'm picking up all my socks. Well, now I'm picking up all the laundry. Well, now I'm doing my laundry. Well, look at me here. All because you picked up one sock. That's how people mostly are. So, that. Now, you may ask, who's running? Me. What's your platform? Libertarian? More left-leaning of the libertarians. After all, I prefer my taxes to be a little bit higher in exchange for good social services. However, most taxes aren't used for jack diddly now. Because a lot of taxes go into the local government, and then the local government doesn't have the people tell them what to do. Fun fact, San Antonio only had 84 people in one of their meetings. You know how many? 84 public people. None of them were on the councils. We are in a city of over, I think, 2 million people. 2 million. Let me. Jason will do a fact check on that one, but regardless, we're fact checking population of San Antonio. I should have Googled this beforehand, but I didn't think I would make this point. Sorry. We're at 1.5 million people. And no one goes to the meetings. That's why you need to. Make sure you do. Now, who's financing all of this, you may ask? Well, that first goes into what I'm talking about. For my wonderful civil rights, I would like to talk about gay rights and women rights. Because I'm going to put it bluntly here. Women getting anything less than the same amount of rights as every other individual is something that's just fucking ridiculous. Plain ridiculous. Why? Oh, well, they can get pregnant. That's horse. That's horse donkey. They can get pregnant. Yeah, and guess what? Men can get cancer and then have to go off. It's the same individualistic thing. Well, you lose a job. Well, here's the thing. Let's say she does get pregnant. She'll know within roughly 2 months. It means you got 7 months to get a replacement, even part-time. Or 7 months to work something out with her where she can work from home or do something. That's just bad planning on your part now. As a business, if you know an event is happening 7 months in the future, and you do not plan accordingly for it, you are a bad business. Done. Now, gay rights. I absolutely believe they should just be able to do whatever they want. I'm a libertarian. Government shouldn't be involved. All right? In the privacy of your own home and in your own space, you should be allowed to do whatever you please. Does that mean that should extend outwards? No. In the same way I shouldn't wear bondage gear around my kids, you shouldn't wear something inappropriate in public. Which is the only thing I have wrong with gays. Personally, it's just the pride parades. It's just, hey, why does some of your outfits look like I Googled for Eurosex outfits? It's not cool. There's kids around. Either that or make it an event where it's 13 plus. You have to have gone through puberty. You have to know what sex is before you come out here. But they don't. It's my only issue with them. But I don't care. Because ultimately, they should have the same rights as everybody else. Do I want a straight man wearing bondage gear in front of my kids? No. I don't want anybody wearing bondage gear in front of my kids. Because kids deserve innocence while it lasts. Now, you may ask, Jason, what about economic issues? Don't worry. After all, I do believe we do need a little bit of socialist tax reform in this country. More than that, we need tax reforms that just are easy. Taxes currently are a headache. There's a whole genre of people just to learn how to do your taxes. The average American should be able to do his taxes and it should be easy as pie. But then you have all these, oh, well, you get a tax cut of this, tax cut of that, and then the rich end up paying next to nothing. No, make them pay taxes. Make the poor people pay taxes. Make that homeless man on the street pay taxes. I want everybody that's earning money to be paying taxes on that money. And I want them to be paying a fair amount. A fair amount. The one that's doing's not so great, don't tax them all that heavy. The one that can afford over 5 yachts per every 5 years, maybe we tax them 1 yacht every 5 years. I'm just saying. Bring a little more socialism into this. And unemployment, you may ask. How do you plan on solving that? Well, inform people. Inform them about programs that are currently going on in their local governments. Inform them of everything that's going on in their city. You can find a job, no matter the circumstance you're in, if you have people to help you. You may think you're alone, but your government is there to step in. And I will ensure that anybody that has difficulty finding a job can find a job. How may you do this? I'd work with local governments. I'd work with their unemployment centers. I'd work with everybody I could to make sure that you are heard. Hey, nobody's hiring me. Well, how much are you looking for? I need a bare minimum. Sure, I can find you a job that has 80K. Are you needing 80K though? No. Then we're going to just try and find you a job for your bare minimums. And then if we can find a nicer job, we'll make sure you can see the nicer job. Irregardless. Now, on to next. Education. No Child Left Behind has done fundamental damage into the core common curriculum. You are passing children that can barely read into high school. And this is not in just 1 or 2. This is in a lot. This is in a large section of your education. And even colleges are having to hit it now because they're lowering their standards. When I was a child, I thought college would be a place where only the truly wishing to be educated would come. Now I'm just dealing with high schoolers who've grown into adult bodies and overuse them. Half of the time I hear about them and I'm just like, what are these people? I can't believe this is what the place I looked forward to because I was told it's a place where it's people wanted to learn. Yet as I go through it, I find less and less people yearning for growth. And I'm disappointed. Now, Jason, you may ask, what about energies? What about the environment? I absolutely love alternative fuels. I believe electric cars are definitely the future. I believe that we should absolutely go into alternative. But we need to start with the infrastructure. You can have a car, but if you have no roads, the car is nearly worthless. So let's build those roads first. Let's invest in our infrastructure, in our energetic infrastructure. So after all, in California, they made a gigantic thing of everybody gets solar panels, but they didn't have the infrastructure to support it. So then they had to pay, the electric companies had to pay businesses to run their equipment overcharged. And it broke down equipment. So they had to pay for the new equipment. All because they wanted to skip without the infrastructure. And that is something I do not approve of. We need to start with the infrastructure. Then we can invest in the energies themselves. Next thing you may be chasing, well, what about your healthcare, human services? How do you plan on healing the sick? Vaccinations become mandatory for every person in the state. Any vaccination beyond the common cold becomes mandatory for every person in the state. In the similar way, it's mandatory for you to drive. With a driver's license, you need a vaccination license in order to do most things. Or in order to access any public amenities. I'm not going to let my nation, my country, or my state, town, everywhere. I refuse to let it regress because some people wish to remain ignorant. Additionally, healthcare. I don't know much about it. It's not one section I researched into extensively. Because I come from a military family that uses TRICARE West. Very simple to receive healthcare. But healthcare nowadays comes from jobs. And with a socialist reform of economics, we would be able to invest more into public healthcare. So that way my people can live longer. So you can enjoy your liberties longer. Why may you want to enjoy them longer, you may ask? Because being alive helps you enjoy them longer. And why not enjoy everything longer? If you could have a double scoop of ice cream so you have more ice cream, would you not want more ice cream? Absolutely. If you knew it was at no extra cost, why not? Next, we have immigration and public safety. I say anybody that's illegal, I will attempt to help you get your paperwork firsthand. You should absolutely be given the opportunity to get your paperwork in order. But if you refuse to, or if you cannot get that paperwork in order in a timely fashion, timely by whatever the people will decree, because I want the people's opinion on this matter, then you deserve to leave the country, because obviously you do not wish to work or be thankful to the country. So no, get immigration out of here. Public safety. This is Texas. Everybody can concealed carry in this state, as far as I'm aware. But you may ask, well, won't that lead to issues? No. Because our law enforcement works in order to assess each situation as calmly as they can. And if they can't, well, then we need to train them better. And we will retrain them 1,000 times if it means they are our best officers available. I am truly enamored with that statement. Next, we have abortion. Or more specifically, we have social issues. Abortion. For me, it has always been a standard and common belief of first trimester, not a baby. After that, it's a kid. Let it live. If you can get plan B or whatever you need to in the first trimester, your thing. You're good. You know, you may ask, but what about the women that don't know what the first trimester is? Then I will educate them. I will sit there and I will have classes go on where everyone in this country becomes more and more educated. Everyone in this state will become more and more educated. I will do whatever it takes to call Congress back and back into that office, into that session, so that way they become more educated. And then after that, it's simply investing more into our social services, into CPS, into the foster care system. Informing people that yes, you should foster a child, no matter how old they are, whether they're in their teens or whether they're a baby. Be involved. Every child counts. That is where no child deserves to be left behind. Now, the children that refuse to move forward, refuse to learn, should stay where they are in their education until they choose to learn. They should absolutely. Now, you may ask, what about gun control? Because this is Texas. And I put it as bluntly as this. You may want an AR just for the fun of it. Now, that's a fair, good point. You deserve to own one. But do you deserve a bazooka? No. I say as long as the automatic weapon has less than 50 bullets per magazine, as long as you can every couple years, as to be determined, prove that you are a safe person to hold that gun and that you can pass all the tests, you deserve to have your guns. But if you're going to be irresponsible, you don't want to throw it in the hands of children, of the uninformed. So, we bring it to them. We inform them, or we remove their license. Preferably remove the license, then inform them, and then hopefully reinstate the license. But it's simple as that. They may ask, what about marijuana? How do you think about that? Well, as your soon-to-be governor of Texas, hopefully, as long as you people approve of me, I do not care about marijuana. Do it in your own home. As long as you are not doing it out in public, in the same way drinking is, as long as you are of age to do it the same way drinking is, what's the difference between it and alcohol? Both can become addictions. Both can become something you recover from. Both can entirely change your personality. So, you deserve it. Now you may ask, who's financing all of this? She never got back to that. Who's financing this? Planned Parenthood, Texas Votes. That would be one of the interest groups that I would hope would finance me. Texas Apartment Association, because I wish for people to have apartments more affordable, for their housing to be more affordable, for the social reform to come through. Texas for Responsible Marijuana Policy, another interest group that would be very interested in me, because I'm all for responsible marijuana. After all, if you're not responsible with your alcohol or guns, we take those away. You're not responsible with your car, we don't let you drive. Let's make sure you're responsible with your marijuana. Then, the Libertarian Party of Texas. They'll absolutely love me. After all, I plan on borrowing a few of their people. But they are, without a doubt, one of the most key groups that I hope to have on my side, since I am a libertarian. The Immigration Reform Coalition of Texas. Because I don't want immigrants to just get kicked out. We are a country of immigrants. So let's try and help them. But only if they're willing. If they don't want it, get out. And you may ask, Jason, well, I hope that, what are the consequences of all of these? After all, that your actions have consequences. I wish to learn the consequences with you all, to see our country grow and the consequences of that growth, the new issues it brings. Now, before you ask any more questions, I must say, I have a couple people I wish to support me. I run off the Libertarian platform. Andrew Amlong. I wish for him to be my advisor. Christy Ford will be my secretary. Joe Burns will be my treasurer. Now, if you recognize those names, all three of them are from the Libertarian Party of Texas. After all, they've been running the Libertarians. Let them help me, a fellow Libertarian. Now, you may ask, what about all of this says you should be the one? What about your gay viewpoints or anything else deems you worthy? You, the people, will deem me worthy. Because I hope I've made a lasting impression on what you believe and how you vote for Texas.